It's almost impossible to exaggerate how game-changing Rubber Soul and Revolver were for the Beatles. These two albums didn't just mark a new chapter. They flipped the entire script of what popular music could be. Up until then, the Fab Four were the kings of catchy blues-inspired pop songs that had the whole world screaming. But with Rubber Soul and Revolver, they stepped into uncharted territory, a bold, experimental sound that would redefine not only their music, but the future of rock itself. Looking back now, it's clear that these records were the turning point. Honestly, I rarely revisit the Beatles' early pre-1965 catalog, because this is where they truly became artists, not just pop sensations. But imagine hearing this shift in real time. Fans everywhere were losing their minds, and the thought of the Beatles ditching their clean, innocent sound must have felt like madness. They had everything to lose: fame, money, adoration. And yet, they chose evolution over safety. But here's the twist. Their creative shift didn't just happen overnight. Sure, the exhaustion of endless touring pushed them toward the studio, but their fascination with new sounds, cultures, and ideas had already begun brewing long before that. And at the heart of that curiosity was George Harrison, the quiet Beatle with a restless, searching spirit. His artistic awakening in India under Ravi Shankar is well documented, but his journey toward experimentation may have started even earlier, during a simple trip to America in 1963, before Beatlemania hit the US. Now here's where it gets interesting. While visiting his sister in St. Louis, Harrison wandered into local record stores hunting for albums he couldn't find back home in Liverpool. That's when he stumbled across a record that would quietly change his creative direction. James Ray's album, If You're Gonna Make a Fool of Somebody. Instead of using the original quote, we could turn this moment into a cinematic hook. Picture this: a young George Harrison, flipping through vinyl bins in a dusty St. Louis shop, unaware that one album he picks up will ignite a spark that echoes through the Beatles' greatest works. That record's jazzy, horn-filled sound got Harrison thinking, what if the Beatles could push beyond rock and roll? What if their music could breathe with new textures, colors, and rhythms? One track, Got My Mind Set on You, stuck with him for decades. So much so that, in 1987, he finally recorded it himself with Jeff Lynne for his Cloud 9 album. By the time the Beatles reached their Revolver era, they were already weaving those kinds of sounds into their own work. Ironically, when Harrison first imagined using those jazzy horns in the early 60s, it would have sounded out of place. But years later, they became a hallmark of the band's innovation. So while it may seem like the Beatles' transformation came from sudden inspiration, the truth is more fascinating. It started with small sparks like that 1963 record store visit. Sometimes, the seed of revolution hides in the most ordinary moments.